Jessica Sittimer. How y'all doing tonight? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Mildred, just say yes. Mildred, just Mildred. That's all. Yes. Okay. Very good. You can hear me. You can see me. Are you ready to party? Woo! Okay. Well, we don't really need much of an introduction tonight because I'm not introducing anybody but myself. And I am Jessica Sittimer, your Director of Training. This is Travel Parties, and I love training about travel parties because I really believe, due to my own personal experience, that parties are one of the biggest ways to explode your business. There is nothing like having people in person, or in some cases, they can be Facebook Live, and we're going to talk about both of those things tonight, okay? Let me just see what's happening on the question box here. Has the webinar started? I'm not able to hear or see anything. Yes, it has. It has, Alexander. Let me see. I'm going to open this question box. Hey, Buster, stop making noise in the background. I've got over 1,000 agents here who want to learn about travel parties. Okay, so let's see. It looks like everybody else can hear me. Looks like everyone else can hear me loud and clear. If Richard can hear me loud and clear, I know I'm good. That means that I am being recorded, and you can all catch this in the back office if you miss it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about travel parties tonight. I am not going to open up the questions until the very end, which means I'm really not going to know what you're referring to unless when you write your question, you say the slide about bucket lists. What can you do for blah, blah, blah? All right, so that is how I would like you to please ask your questions if you come up with a question as we go along, okay? Because I want to get the content out first, and then we can do a little deeper dive. All right. So let's see. Let's get on to our next slide here. I can figure out how to move it. What is a travel party? All right. So what is a travel party? Well, it means different things to different people, but for the sake of our purposes at InteleTravel, a travel party is the opportunity to sell travel and travel alone. You're not introducing the business of being a travel agent to somebody. You're not selling travel and hair products. You know, you're keeping the businesses separate, doing your thing. And here's what your objective is for the travel party. Here's your purpose. You want to build a customer base. So you're going to be asking people to, bring guests, and you're going to ask people to be able to, share it with their friends. You're going to teach about travel. One of the things that comes up is that people, think that they know everything there is because they can get online and do things. But you know what, y'all? You have so much more access than they do, and the things that you teach are going to prove that to them. All right, you're going to open your clients to more experiences. How many times have you watched a Tuesday, Thursday webinar and learned something that you didn't realize existed, whether it be on a cruise ship that you knew really well, or whether it was on a new destination, or whether something new just came out? I mean, I was coaching one of our ambassadors today, and I learned that Virgin has now come out with a cruise ship which is for adults only. I mean, I knew Virgin was coming out with a cruise ship, but I did not know it was adults only. So that sounds like something interesting that I would like to check out. And you want to sell travel. I mean, in the end, that is the goal, to sell travel. And of course, it's a party, so you want to have fun. So let's get this party started. Y'all want this party started, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Y'all want this party started quickly. Well, before we can set it off, we have to make sure that we have done our pre-party planning. So basically what I'm going to address tonight are some different sections that, in my experience, have been what have stopped people from having travel parties. Okay, so, I've said, have you done a party? And they're like, no. And I say, well, why not? And then here's the first objective. Here's the first objection that I hear. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. They don't know, they've never thrown a party before, so they don't know how to prepare for it. So this is what you do. First thing is you want to look like a professional. Okay, now we're going to have a Hawaiian party tonight. So, that means that maybe I dress in a tropical dress, or maybe I have a Hawaiian shirt. Maybe I even go so far as to have a grass skirt. What I'm not going to do is be presenting to an audience of people in a bikini top. That's just not how we want to present ourselves as a travel agent, okay? Now, if you're having a pool party after you do the presentation, great. But keep the shirt on until the pool party starts. All right, you're going to have some banners printed. You can get either banners printed from your back office through the print shop, or you can go to your different vendors who you might be featuring. Let's say you're featuring Carnival Cruise Lines, and you can say to them, do you have any banners that I can put up at my travel party? And they will send you stuff for free. Make sure you have business cards printed, and plenty of them, because not only do you want to give somebody one business card, but you want to, if you're at a travel party, you want to give them 6 business cards, 1 for them and 5 to give out to their friends. And then you can have some type of drawing, okay? So you can say, all right, for everyone who came to the party tonight, I gave you all 6 business cards. If you give those out and then email me who are the 5 people that you gave my business card to, and, and so I can look them up on Facebook and friend them. Hey, if they want to give you their contact information, even better, depending on how well you know them, I will put you into a drawing to win a spa rebate or a 3-day, 2-night getaway, whatever it might be, whatever your incentive is that you are going to give away, okay? But have that 1 business card for them and 5 that they're going to give away, and then make sure they follow up with you to tell you who those 5 cards went to, so that they could be put in to win a prize. This way they're not just going to go into their bag and disappear, okay? You want to order the flyers, brochures, and magazines from your suppliers. Again, they send you these for free. You're going to see by the end of this presentation that you're going to know who you're going to be selling at the end of the night. So you're going to know who to ask for those flyers, brochures, and magazines from. You're going to order your travel incentives. You get those in your back office, under My Agency, under Marketing and Sales Tools. You scroll down, you find Travel Incentive Centers, and that's where you find them. For those of you who are brand new agents and watching this for the very first time, we have 3-day, 2-night getaways for as little as $1.75. And we have, some things that might cost $8.50. I think our $25 rebate costs $5.50. So you can go in there and just order a whole batch at one time, but do know that they have a 1-year expiration date from when you get them. So don't order too many that you couldn't give away within a year. All right, you can also order giveaways for during the event from your print shop. Mugs, tote bags, all things with your contact information on it, so that when they're using it, they're going to think of you. All right. Okay, here's a big one. This is another one that stops people from, sorry, my little dog that I'm babysitting for is chewing on my wires. Okay, so this is something that stops people from having a party. They don't know what to say when they invite. Now, here's the thing. I am going to give you some language now. I'm going to give you some ideas now. I am not going to repost this. I'm just saying it off the top of my head. So when you rewatch this in your back office, you're going to stop and pause, and you can write down whatever you want. Listen, pause, listen, pause. That's what I always do when I'm listening, to training things. I just listen, pause, and I write down the language that the trainer gave me, and then I decide how to make it my own. All right, so you get stopped because you don't know what to say in an invitation. Well, I'm going to tell you what to say. You have emails, you have handwritten invitations that you can send out, you've got social media invitations you can send out. Let's start with the handwritten invitations, okay? So many people, I'm just going to check because somebody said lost sound, and I just want to make sure nobody else is saying that, okay? Because I always worry about that. I only see one person. So that one person, I don't know if you could hear me, one person, but sign back in because we've got, 1,600 people on here right now and climbing. So that's probably why. All right. So for the handwritten invitation, maybe you're going to buy those fill in the blank ones that, have the, Joyce hears me, so we're good. Thanks, Joyce. So the handwritten ones you could fill in. Here's the place, the address, the time, the date, where they can park, but you're still going to want to do a little bit of personalization there. So you can do something like, dear, or aloha, Jen. I'm so passionate about travel and I want you to be too. So I'm inviting you to my Hawaiian luau. Here's all the information about where it is. And then that's where you fill in your who, where, what, when's, all those good things. And you say, P.S., please RSVP so I know how, and you'll give them the RSVP, either your phone number or your email address, so I know how many coconuts and pineapples to buy. And P.P.S., for the first 3 people who get here, I'm going to be giving you a 3-day, 2-night getaway. So hurry up. But if you're going to be late, don't be discouraged. There'll be more giveaways throughout the evening. Now, why did I just do that? Because the number one reason why people get discouraged from having parties is because they've had one and nobody showed up. Raise your hand out there if you've had a travel party and nobody showed up. My hand is raised because I have been there. It's no fun. See, Buster's been there too. He doesn't think it's fun either. I know, it's very discouraging, Buster. All right, so that is your handwritten invitation. Now, here you can do something very, very similar in email. You can use the same language. And then, but in an email, you would say, your partner in travel, Jessica. Here's what I don't want you to put into your language. Hi, Jen. I just launched my travel business and I'm so excited. So I would love for you to come to my travel party and support me as we learn about Hawaii. And the reason why I say that, if you want to have a launch, then go ahead and you only see how to invite. Is that normal? Yes, that's all that's on this screen right now. I'm just talking, and you can pause and play when you rewatch it and add things. So, you can have a launch party for your travel agent business. But this is a party, and what I'm going to show you later is that the presentation is not going to be very long. The majority of this party is going to be, hey, if we're doing a luau, maybe we'll do a little limbo. We're definitely going to have some dancing. Maybe we'll do a little hula. If we're inviting our friends to bring their kids because we're going to have a pool party, maybe we'll have some hula hoops for the kids. So, we don't want to do anything that's going to make them say no. This whole invitation is to get them to say yes. So if they hear I am launching my business, they might go, oh, she's going to try and sell me something. Oh, I'm going to have to buy something. That makes me uncomfortable. I'm just not going to go. Whereas if you say, I am so passionate about travel and want you to be too, so come to my Hawaiian luau travel party, it's still a travel party, but only 15 minutes of it is going to really be a presentation. And we'll get to that. So now, here's where the social media invite comes in. I recommend emails and handwritten mail invitations to people who you know well who are going to come to your house. All right. You can do social media invites for them, but I just think that an email or a personal, like, put in their mailbox invitation is a little bit more inviting. Like, it really feels more like a party and like you took the time. But social media, I want you to take advantage of. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted by the questions. Don't worry about repeating questions because you can't see other people's questions. That's just the way that these webinars are set up, so that you can't see who's asking what. It's just the way all they're all set up that way. So don't worry about asking repeated questions. I will go through those at the end. All right, social media. Social media, what I want you to do is, number one, I want you to write a post that you're having a virtual Hawaiian luau. Okay, so you're going to post it so everyone can see. On Friday night at 8 p.m., I'm having a virtual travel party. It's going to be a Hawaiian luau. So grab yourself a fruity drink, come sit down, and one of you who's watching live is going to win a 3-day, 2-night getaway on me, but you've got to be on live to win the getaway. Then you are going to private message, and again, here's some language for you. Dear John, aloha. I am so passionate about travel and want you to be too, so I am inviting you to my house, to my Hawaiian luau. Whoop! Wait a minute, scratch that. I see you live across the country, but that's okay. You can still come because I am going to be live streaming it so you can have fun with all of my guests from the comfort of your own home. If you haven't seen my social media post, I'm attaching it right here. Would love to see you live so that you could be one of the winners of that 3-day, 2-night getaway, potentially. Your partner in travel, Jessica. So there you go. Now you've just realized how you can do private messages to as many people as you want to invite them to come watch you on Facebook Live. Because keep in mind, most people do not see your posts. The majority of the people do not. So you want to private message 200 people. If you have 500 friends, you want to message 200 people privately. Okay? So that is how you invite. So nobody can use the excuse anymore that they don't know how to invite, because Jess just taught you how to do it. All right, now I keep talking about this Hawaiian luau, but you want to create a theme for your party. Because as I said, it's not about just selling, it's also about having fun. So we're going to come up with some types of themes. So let's say at the end of the party, you're going to be selling a cruise. All right, so maybe you have a cruising in coladas. Now you can have a virgin colada if you want, but these are real parties. Okay, this is not a business party, even though you're selling something. So don't be afraid to spike the colada. Okay, it's not like we at InteleTravel don't have a rule that you cannot have alcohol at your travel parties. However, you do want to be responsible and take those keys away if you see someone's had a little too many coladas, because we just want you to be okay. So I keep getting those people saying they can't hear me. They make me nervous. Okay. All right. Cocoa and cookies and cocoa, featuring Club Med for ski. So really, Club Med offers so many different places where people can ski. And I got to tell you, they have like the best deals of anybody because it's all inclusive. All right. So all inclusive means that they're going to get the ski tickets, which are so expensive, those lift tickets. Plus they've got the food and all kinds of stuff. So that's a great thing to do if people like to ski. Okay, if they like it hot, then you can do tropical nights if you know that you're selling someplace, maybe through Apple Leisure Group or Delta Vacations. You're going to be selling something tropical that night. Maybe you'll sell two things tropical. Maybe you're also selling a cruise that goes somewhere tropical. So you've got a land and a cruise to sell at the end of your travel party. Maybe you know a lot of people who are getting married and are going to be planning honeymoons. So maybe you know a lot of people get married in May and June. So you want to do this in like September to plan for their wedding that's going to be next year. So if you know people are thinking about it, maybe you do a wedding and honeymoons party, an exotic bucket list night. So that's where you can poll your guests who you'd want to invite, who you know are coming, who have RSVP to your exotic bucket list, and you can say, so I'm so excited that you're coming to my exotic bucket list night. Tell me, what are 3 trips that are on your bucket list? If you let me know, by Friday, I will put you into a drawing to win a 3-day, 2-night getaway at the party. So now you've got all of your guests telling you where they want to go, and they're giving you 3 places. So if the majority of the people want to go to Greece, guess what your travel party is going to be about? Greece. Okay, now if they all want to go, if half want to go to Greece and half want to go on a cruise, maybe you do Greece as a land package and Greece as as part of a cruise that goes to Greece. All right, 10 places you must visit in the USA. This is a great one. I recently moved to Vegas, and yesterday I spent 4 hours kayaking on the Colorado River. I was on the river right between Nevada was on one side mountain range, and the other side of the river was Arizona. I had no idea that something like that exquisite. I felt like I was in another country. When we kayaked into an emerald cave. And in the cave, when you look in the water, it shines like emerald green. It was gorgeous. I had no idea that was 45 minutes from my house. So, people might not want to leave the US. They just might be nervous about it for whatever reason. So why not have a party that shows them places where they can go right here in the United States, where they can either drive to. If you know that you live in the West, you can pick places in California, places in Utah, places in Arizona, places in Nevada. Okay, those are all great places. Yes, I did take pictures of the kayak adventure. I will post them for you later. Okay, so family-friendly vacations. If you want to do, like if you're going to be selling Carnival or Royal Caribbean at the end, and you know that you have a lot of families, and the parents, you want to show them how they can have a romantic trip and have time to themselves while the kids are in kids club. You can also feature Club Med at that same party, because that's for people who don't want to go on a cruise ship. So get creative, tie in your beverages and snacks to the theme, come up with whatever theme you want. My advice is to have one theme a month for the year. And if you're coming to ITQ, I am going to be doing a presentation on marketing for the year. And one of the things that we are going to cover, if you're watching this, in 2020, I'm sorry, but if you're watching this in 2019, ITQ, I'm going to be doing a breakout session where we're talking about marketing, and one of the pieces of that is going to be literally giving you a 12-month marketing plan for your travel parties and how to plan for them. All right, but you can do that on your own. You can come up with themes that go with each month. All right, so we've got our theme. We've got an invitation. We've got people RSVPing. What do we do now? This is the next objection I get. It's the next obstacle for people to overcome so that they feel good about their party. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your back office and you are going to print out your customer profile forms that you find on your dashboard. You're going to print out enough, not only for the people you're expecting, but a few extra, because you're going to ask people to bring guests. So when they come, you're going to ask them to fill this out. And you might even get creative. You might tell them to put in the notes, have a instruction form and say, hey, on the back of this, feel free to put your favorite, who are the top 5 people you'd love to see in concert? What sports teams do you follow? what are some of the hobbies that you enjoy or that your family enjoy. So this way, if you know they like kayaking and they want to go on a trip to Vegas because they have a wedding there that they're going to, and they want to stay at a nice resort, a nice place on the strip. But you remember from their customer profile form that they like kayaking. You can say, and by the way, I looked it up in our back office under activities. They do have an activities where you can go through the back office for that kayaking trip. Okay. So that's why I'm saying you want to get as much interesting information that you can go to your golden tickets, that you can go to your activities form, and you can see what's going on in the other places. Hey, they're going to Vegas. Who's playing that weekend? They're going to be there March 8th. Hey, Justin Timberlake is playing that weekend. Let's see if Golden Tickets has tickets for that. And then you can call them up and be like, hey, Golden Tickets has Justin Timberlake on March 8th. Do you want to go? And they'll be like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. Yes. All right. So there you go. So here's a smart tip. Like I said, have an incentive for them to fill these out. But here's what I want to remind you. Printers fail. So don't wait until the last minute, the day up, to print this out. No. Do it like 2 days in advance so that this is, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted by all the people who are asking what ITQ is. That's InteleQuest. That is our yearly convention. And it is the first week in March 1st through the 7th. And I believe it's already full for this year, but don't worry, we will have more. So yes, so let me get back to this. Make sure you print this out in advance so that there's no printer problems and you are prepared. All right, so next, tip number 2, order free brochures and display items from suppliers. So as I said, we want you to plan these out in advance because it could take suppliers a month to get these brochures to you. The nice thing is that they're free. So you can call up Royal Caribbean and say that you're doing a weddings and honeymoon. Can you please send me brochures and magazines and any hot deals you have? And they will send you it by the box full. Okay, it's awesome. So, and they send it to you for free. Now, the way to get to them is to you have to register for suppliers. If you don't know how to do that, then make sure you go to your dashboard in your back office, you log in and click on when you go on the dashboard down the left side, you will see how to register with suppliers. Royal Caribbean, it's self-registration. You can register yourself. Some of them you have to share. Like Club Med has a shared login. Please do not change the password, okay? When you do that, it locks everybody, including yourself, out. So please do not change the password. Those are shared logins. The third way, if you do not see a vendor like Norwegian there or MSC, that means that you need to write to customer service. I think there's a form for it on the knowledge base page, a form for you to ask to be registered with different suppliers. Okay, so you're going to register for those suppliers. You're going to get into their agent-only portal. You're going to click on their marketing tools, and you are going to look for what you want, and you're just going to click on those buttons and ask them to be mailed to you, and they will mail them to you for free. Okay, tip number 3, order those travel incentives. So, I'm going to say order at least 10 3-day, 2-night getaways. So for less than $20 by the end of this presentation, you're going to know how just 10 3-day, 2-night getaways can make everybody feel like a success with this party, okay? All right, so you can also order some golf or spa gift cards. You can also order InteleTravel logo items or gifts to give away. So what are you going to use these for? To get people to your party, like the first 3 people who come, or everyone who brings 5 or more guests, or I wouldn't say everyone who RSVPs, but you might say everyone who RSVPs is going to go into a drawing to win one, or everyone who RSVPs and sends me 3 places where you want to go on your bucket list will be put into a drawing to win one. Okay, and then again, you're going to offer one for filling out the customer profile form as well, because contests really build excitement. All right, so here we go. Tip number 4, print out some timely hot deals. As I said, even if you're not having a bucket list trip, still poll your guests beforehand to have ideas of where they want to go. So let's say you are doing you want to do a polar bear and penguin party. And it's going to be all, what they don't know is that it's going to be all about an Alaska cruise. Okay, so they don't know that you're going to be selling an Alaska cruise. They just know that they're going to a polar bear and penguin party, and that just sounds fun to them. And you know, you can say we're going to have like popsicles, you know, maybe they're champagne popsicles, things like that to get people excited to come. But you might have some people that don't want to cruise to Alaska. So if you poll them beforehand and you know someone to go to Jamaica and some, you know, want to go, you can then have those hot deals printed out so that at the end, when you are presenting the Alaska cruise, you can say, for those of you who are not running to the table right now, I have some other hot deals over there. So like some of you wanted to go to Jamaica, some of you wanted to go to Greece, some of you wanted to take a cruise to the Caribbean. Those are all on the table over there. What does this do? It shows that travel agents do have access to better deals, okay? It shows like, oh, wow, she's got this hot deal from this supplier. I wouldn't have had this. I wouldn't have known that this was available. And it gives your guests ideas. So let's say they came in with no idea. They had no idea where they wanted to go. Or let's say they thought that Greece was way out of their budget range, but then they see the hot deal and suddenly they have an idea. All right, so there we go. Tip number 5, have a bucket with the word list on it. So you can go to a dollar store and get a bucket. You can go into your garage and find that dusty old bucket and you can spray paint it. You can get a sand bucket if you're doing some kind of, you know, Caribbean or anything that's sand based, and it can be, you know, like a sand bucket. And you are going to have people fill out their name, their email address, their phone number, their address, and 3 bucket list trips if you have not done this beforehand. Okay, now here's why. Because you need their name, their email, and their address in order to put them into your ensemble marketing. So again, if you are in that marketing and sales tool, you're going to find the Ensemble Post Office where they have a $100,000 marketing budget for you. If you don't know what that is, I don't have time to explain tonight, but go into your InteleTutorials and look for the customer service webinars and read the descriptions. And anytime I talk about the post office or ensemble, you can watch that one. It will teach you all about it. So some ideas for doing this bucket list is during your party, you can pull out, you know, maybe you pull out 3 different winners. And maybe it's like everyone who puts, you know, who wins is going to get an InteleTravel mug or InteleTravel keychains, whatever you've ordered. Like there's going to be a prize. So you pull out that first bucket list and you say, oh, John Snope, you are the winner of the bucket list. Ooh, I see that you want to travel to India and you want to go on a cruise through the Mediterranean. You want to do a river cruise, and I see that you want to also go on an Alaskan cruise. So I'm curious, anybody else in the room want to go to India? And all of a sudden, 10 people raise their hands in the room. And you can say, well, boy, 10 of you, you know, that's enough for me to get a group discount for you all. You know, you can all kind of introduce yourself so you know each other, but you definitely don't have to like hang out if you don't want to, but you're welcome to. But, you know, come see me afterwards and I can look at putting together a group trip for you all. Anybody else want to go to Alaska? on a cruise. Oh, wow, a lot of you do great. So again, I can put together a group and get you a better rate. So see me after. And then if you pull out 3 different people to be winners and they're all winning keychains, which doesn't cost you a lot, now you've just asked for 9 different places where people might want to go. And even if it's not enough for a group, you can still turn it into a group by having them invite their friends, So, but at least you're getting an idea for where people want to go. All right. Dun, 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 dun. This is the big party stopper. This is where the record player goes and screeches to a halting stop. The biggest objection I get to having a travel party is, well, Jessica, I don't know what to say. And I'm not good at talking in front of people, or I'm shy, or I'm afraid of making a fool of myself, well, here's the thing. I am going to give you 6 steps that you can put together in a 15-minute presentation. That's it. You can practice for 15 minutes in your shower, 15 minutes in your car. You can make a video of yourself presenting for 15 minutes and watch it back and do it over and over again until you feel confident enough, not to be Jessica up there on stage, but confident enough that you can present in front of your friends and family. That does not mean that you have to stand up and be on a you can sit down. If you've got 10 people that come to your party, you could be seated. You can have notes if you want them. You could say, you guys are my friends and family. I just want to make sure that I say all the right stuff. So it's okay if I have notes, right? I've seen some of the best-selling authors in the world say that from stage. Is it okay if I just walk around with my notes so I make sure I give you all the value you deserve? These are best-selling authors and they're using notes, okay? So if they can do it, you can do it. I do not want this presentation to be the reason why you are not hosting travel parties. No matter how nervous you get, it gets easier and easier. Think about something else in your lifetime that at one point made you nervous, but you did it over and over and over, and eventually you forgot that it ever made you nervous. That's what this is going to be, okay? And if you are nervous, really all that means is that you care. So it's okay to be nervous. You just feel the fear and you act in spite of it. That's what successful people do. Okay, so here we go. Step number 1, you are going to share your story, why you chose to become a travel agent. But here's what I'd like you to do. Whenever possible, I want you to tie that story into what you're selling that night. Which means if you've done a lot of travel, then you can tie in, like if you've traveled to London, I'm about to share a story for London. If you've traveled to London, you can share one of your personal stories from London and then tie in why you became a travel agent, because you care about people and you want them to experience what you experienced in London. Later, I'm going to do a Hawaii party and I'm going to teach you, and you'll hear the story I share has to do with Hawaii. Now, if you haven't traveled, you can watch, some of the travel videos, and you can say, I have watched, videos of Hawaii, and I would sit there and listen to the trainers who were teaching me about their destinations, and I was saying, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I want people to be able to see this too. So I became a travel agent so I could share it with people like you. So that's just a shortened version of it. But whenever possible, tie in your why with the actual location, because the whole purpose is for these steps to build on each other so that people are basically salivating to go on the trip when in step number 6 you present it to them. Okay, so just to give you an idea before I go into my story, it's kind of like when you're watching those Tuesday, Thursday webinars where the suppliers are sharing videos or they're sharing photos of the food that you can eat or the fun activities you can go on, and you're watching it and you're like, oh, I never wanted to go there before, but I want to go there now. I mean, every time I watch the African travel, I want to go on an African safari so badly. So that's how you want people to feel when you're sharing your story, when you're sharing, the other steps that are coming up. So here's how, it's just a quick 3-minute story. Now, I go into a little bit more detail, not on the first story, but definitely on the second, just because I want to, help you get a good idea of it. So I would share something like this. Let's say at the end of the party, I'm going to be sharing a European experience where they will go to London and Paris, all right? So I'm going to say that, so I became a travel agent. I found out about 10 years ago, I used to love to travel, and then 10 years ago, I found out that I have so many food restrictions, and it really made me fearful of traveling. And one of my friends wanted me to go to London with them, and I really was very concerned about going. But this person was a real expert in travel and reassured me that I would be able to eat food. So I decided to make the trip with him. And when we got there, he's like, okay, I want to take you to the most famous tea house in London. And I was like, oh, that's such a tease, because I used to love to go to tea with some of my friends in California. We would visit all the tea houses, and they had scones and tea sandwiches and desserts. And I knew I was not going to be able to eat any of them because I'm gluten-free, I'm dairy-free, I got all this stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll go just to see it, just to see the experience. And I'm so glad I did, because when I did, it looked like something out of a movie set. It was beautiful. I could see the blue and white china patterns, which matched the decor. And all the waiters were in tuxedos, and they had the white towels over their arm. And I can smell, oh my gosh, every time somebody went by with a different tea, I was like, okay, that's definitely raspberry. Oh, that's definitely something, spices, some type of Asian, flavored tea. I could just smell all the aromas in the room. And then I would see the desserts go by, and oh my gosh, I was salivating. I wanted so badly to go in, and you could just smell how delicious those baked goods were. And then I turned to leave, and the hostess said, "Oh, won't you be joining us for tea?" I apologize, UK agents, for that terrible accent. But anyway, that's what she said. And I said, oh, I wish, but I'm gluten-free and dairy-free. She goes, oh, here's our gluten-free, dairy-free menu. And I was like, what? And next thing you know, I am sitting there, and I have a gluten-free, dairy-free, those tri-levels that they give you that has how they display the tea, where they have the tea sandwiches with the gluten-free bread for me and no dairy on it. And then the next level are the scones. I don't know how they make gluten-free, dairy-free scones, but they did, and they were delicious. And all the different jellies and jams that they would give you. And they give you little mini ones. So if you didn't finish it, they would close it up for you and give it to you in a packet to go with some extra scones. And then at the top tier, you have the desserts. And, because I was gluten-free and dairy-free, I could only have the chocolate desserts. Bummer. Not really, it's my weak spot. And then the teas were so delicious, and they kept filling it up again or asking if you want to try a different kind. It was the most wonderful experience. And that's when I realized there are so many people out there in the world who think they can't travel because they think that they have something that's stopping them, whether it be, they have kids with, autism or special needs, or if they're older and they need wheelchair access, or if they have food issues like I did. And I realized that I wanted to become a travel agent because I wanted to be able to serve all those people and show them that they could experience the world just like I did, and find ways to overcome their obstacles to help them see the world and experience what I experienced. Boom. That's how you share a story. That's how not only do you pull them into the experience, but you say, I care about people. I care enough that I want to help you. So now they know that this isn't like, oh, I joined because I found out that there was a way to make money extra on the side. No, they don't care about you making money. They want to know you care about them. So make your reason about them. But then you're going to come to step number 2. And they're going to say, yeah, Jessica, but why do I need a travel agent when I can just book it myself? So now is when you want to think about how you're going to share what's in it for your guests, why having you as their personal travel agent is advantageous to all, okay, to them, everyone there. So you're going to point out, all right, how many people in the room have booked travel themselves on one of those websites? Okay, I see quite a few of you. Like, how many of you have spent hours, maybe weeks, maybe even months researching, trying to find the best deal? Yeah, a lot of you. Well, guess what? Those times that you spent those hours, weeks, or months searching, think about how much you get paid an hour. That's how much time that you multiply that by how much time you spent. Is your time worth more than that? This is my job. This is what I do for free. I will put together a trip for you. I don't charge anything to be your travel agent. So the video is not moving. It's on step 2, so don't worry about it, Julia. It's just on step 2. So I don't charge anything for it. I am going to, what takes you weeks or months or hours, or, it only takes me a short amount of time because I've already studied all of this. So all I have to do is ask you a few questions, and I'll be able to put together 3 different quotes for you to find you the best value for what you want to do and give you the greatest experience. And not only that, but you know what else is important? If you have a problem, your website cannot be called. You can't call that website and say, hey, they put me next to the elevator and I keep hearing all these partying kids. Hey, website, why aren't you picking up and helping me change my room? However, I am your travel concierge. And when you get to that location, if there's anything about your vacation that you are disappointed by, you just send me a text or give me a phone call, and I am going to call that location so that you don't have to take time out of your vacation. You're going to be able to keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to make sure your room gets changed. Or I'm going to make sure that you're upgraded if all of a sudden you see that you like another room better. And I'm going to talk to the concierge to make sure that you don't get charged some exorbitant amount because they see that you're just a tourist. No, they're going to talk to the travel agent, and I'm going to make sure I get you the best, upgrade I can. So it's really important that you have someone looking out for your best interest. Also, let's say you wanted to go shopping for a dress, right? But there's only 2 dress shops. And for you gentlemen, just, imagine like sneakers, okay? You want to find a cool pair of sneakers. So there's only 2 stores in your neighborhood where you can go. But let's say there's a personal shopper who, again, doesn't charge you to go shopping with them because the places pay her a commission for bringing you in and whatever you buy. She has access to 15 specialty stores that sell dresses and sneakers. Well, I have access to different suppliers who only work with travel agents. You wouldn't even know they exist. They do not work with the consumers. So rather than you just having the few brand names that you've heard of, I have access to tour operators and different areas and places that you wouldn't even know to ask about. So that's why it's so important for you to use a travel agent. And that's why I wanted you to come tonight and introduce you to this experience so that you could have me as your personal travel concierge. So that's what you want to do in step 2. You want to come up with all the different reasons why you're going to save them money, you're going to save them time, you're going to make sure that they don't get sucked into Gina and Martin's vacation where they're on Chilligan's Island being chased around by some scary looking rodent because it looked really nice on the website, but then they get there and it's not what they expected at all. All right, let's go to step number 3, travel content. So this is where you're going to now show a video or 2 from a supplier or a destination. You're going to have some brochures and some slides to pass around. So, just like when you watch those webinars and you're like, oh, I want to go. You're going to go to YouTube for Royal Caribbean, or you're going to go into your agent portal and you're going to download 2 of Royal Caribbean's videos for the exact ship that you're going to be selling them, and you are going to show the videos. Now, you are going to do that, and they are going to be on most people, okay? 80% of the room are going to be on the edge of their seat, okay? Edge of their seat wanting to go. But 20% are going to be like, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to go on a cruise. I've heard that there's There's too much water around that ship. I've seen Titanic. I know how that ends. So or they're going to say, well, I can't go because it's too expensive, or, oh, it's too dangerous, or I'm not interested in leaving the States, so there's nothing interesting I can do. I want you to think of the 3 objections that you think will pop up into your people's minds when they are thinking about traveling to where you're selling, and bust those myths. So tonight, when I do Hawaii for you, the 3 for me is that it's too expensive, I'm scared of the volcano, and I'm not interested in leaving the United States, because believe it or not, people, when they think about Hawaii, they think that they're leaving the United States and they need a passport. Nope. Hawaii is one of the United States. So those are the 3 myths that I'm going to bust. All right. So you think about what your myths would be for those and come up with your answers. And if you can't come up with answers, like if you always hear, oh, it's too dangerous to go to Israel or to see the Holy Land, then you want to go into the Agent Departure Lounge, which is InteleTravel's private page for our agents only. And you want to say, hey, listen, I'm having a travel party, and I'm concerned that, for the Holy Land, I'm doing it through ETS. I'm concerned that people are going to be afraid to go because they think going to Israel is dangerous. What are some of the things I can say to put their mind at ease? And they will give you answers there. All right, step number 5, share someone else's story. Third-party validation means a lot. So if you are a brand new travel agent who's never, or even an agent who's been in for a while, but you haven't sold anything, or if they haven't traveled yet, or if they have traveled and no one's ever given you a testimonial, you can borrow from other people, or you can borrow from me tonight. You can share one of the 2 stories that I'm going to share. So, and you can say, for example, here's a testimonial from one of the agents, Jessica. This was, her experience. So for me, I have a testimonial for one of my travel agents, because I was supposed to go with my parents to Las Vegas to go to visit my sister and brother-in-law before we lived here. And they, they were having their, Billy's first marriage. He had kids coming from New York, and they were going to be staying. So we were going to see my nieces and so they were coming. So they were going to be staying with Billy and Julie. So we wanted to stay at the Marriott. And the travel agent was able to get us a place at JW, which is, on the higher end, nicer one, and be able to get us in there. And it was literally 5 minutes from my sister's house. So we were right around the corner. So we made the arrangements for 10 days. Well, we found out that the kids were only coming for 7 days, and Julie and Billy invited us to stay with them for the first 3 days. So we talked to the agent and said, can you call and see if you can make this less time? So the agent called and spoke to the person and said, no problem. Well, turns out, y'all, that agent was me. Okay? So what I did was I called that Wednesday morning to make sure everything was okay. I had put it under my parents' name. I called to make sure everything was okay for them to go over there. And they said, oh no, they were supposed to check in on Sunday night. This was Thanksgiving weekend, by the way. They were supposed to check in Sunday night, and they didn't, so we canceled their reservation, gave it to somebody else, and charged a no-show fee. And I said, oh no, I spoke to this guy at this time. He said I did not need to change my confirmation number. And they said, oh yeah, we see in here something about Wednesday, that Wednesday check-in. I said, yeah, that's when they were supposed to check in. Now I'm making this like it's not me, I'm the travel agent, this is about their parents. So they're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. We already gave away the room. And I said, well, you know what? These are loyal Marriott people, as you can see from their reward number. And I'm thinking that since this is a mistake on your end, why not upgrade them to a suite? Because we all know that once you go suite, you don't go back. And they're like, okay. And that's what they did. They upgraded them. And the kids had such a great time. They loved the suite. They didn't even want to go back to Julie and Billy's apartment. They wanted to hang out in the suite. So we just had a great time, and they really thanked me, the travel agent, for doing that for them. So you can share that story as if it was a story that, like, here's something that happened to this couple. And what is that going to do? It's going to make everyone in the room go, ooh, I didn't realize that something could go so wrong if I book it myself. If I don't have a travel agent, I could just show up there and I have no room. So you want to say, and that's why you want a travel agent, because a travel agent will find a way to make sure that you're taken care of. Whereas if you just do it yourself, you might just be out of luck. Okay. Step number 6 is when you plan that trip. All right. That is when you have your call to action. You have, either 1 or 2 trips, like a land and a sea, or 2 different options for them in Jamaica, whatever it might be. You have either 1 or 2 deals or offers to give to them that evening that you're going to present right now. All right. So it's going to be whatever that might be. You already have the website up on your computer ready for whoever wants to, sign up, and you're going to present it to them then. All right, so you're going to talk to your BDMs to get that group offer going, and you can say, I have a group that, that I've put together, for this cruise or for, this Club Med trip, whatever it is. So you're going to have that ready. Okay, this is how it goes. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to treat you all in a moment. I'm going to go and I'm going to treat you all as if you were the guests at my travel party. And I am going to go through these 6 steps in 15 minutes or less, just to prove to you that you can do this in 15 minutes or less. Now, here's the thing. You don't even see me. You're just going to hear my voice. So can you imagine what it's going to be like when they actually see you in person? That's where it really happens, when they can see you. All right. Okay, so here we go. Good evening, everyone, or should I say aloha? Oh my goodness, thank you to all of you all who came dressed Hawaiian themed. That's so fun. My name is Jessica. Most of you know me, but there are definitely a few guests here in the room. So if you're meeting me for the first time, I am so passionate about travel. And so grateful that you came here tonight for my Hawaiian luau travel party. Let me just tell you a quick story about why I became a travel agent. It was pretty remarkable, actually. My sister and I decided to plan our own trip to Hawaii. At the time, we didn't even know there were travel agents. Maybe some of you here also didn't know that there were travel agents. We are here, and you need us more than ever to protect yourself and everything. And just for the reason why my sister and I discovered why we should have used a travel agent. And that is because we knew nothing about Hawaii. We didn't realize that, we just knew it was tropical. We didn't realize that there were multiple islands. So when we saw a big island, we're like, okay, that's the big one, so we'll go there. And that's what we did. We picked a hotel chain that we recognized the name of because we wanted to have a nice luxurious vacation. And that's what happened. We went and we had a luxurious vacation. I mean, the food at this hotel was so delicious, and we would order, breakfast in our room, and sometimes we'd have dinner out on our terrace because we had an ocean view from the terrace, and we would do yoga in the morning on the beach, and we would kayak in their little they had like a little cove there, and we got massages in these little canopies that were like we had just privacy, and it overlooked this little stream that had sea turtles in it. It was really just an incredible trip. But almost the last day came, and the concierge said, "Are you ladies enjoying yourself?" We said, "We sure are." And he says, "I've seen you around the hotel. Have you seen the volcano?" And we're like, "We didn't even know there was a volcano." And he said, "Oh, ladies, you can't come to the Big Island and not see the volcano." So my sister and I looked at each other and we're like, "Oh my goodness, we can't go back to LA and tell everyone we went to Hawaii. We didn't see the volcano." So we're like, "How do we go?" And he says, "Well, you have 2 options. You can take a car, which you rent. It takes 8 hours to get there. You can see the volcano for maybe an hour, and then 8 hours back, you'll be in the dark and there aren't any lights." And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't sound like a very good opportunity. Like, what's the other way?" And he said, or you could take a helicopter. Well, my sister and I were really nervous about that, but we decided we were going to do it. So we made the reservation. We showed up the next day, and neither one of us could really breathe. I had to sit in the front. She had to sit in the back because of the distribution of weight, and I was terrified, y'all. I was like, my heart was like I could hear it in my ears. I was so scared. So I turned to my sister for support, and bam, I got a look in the mirror, and I did not like what I saw. My sister's face was pale because she had no blood in it because she was so scared. She was gripping the seat. Her knuckles were white from holding it so tightly. She had her eyes closed. She wouldn't look out the window. And we hadn't left the ground yet. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that's what I look like. And I started to hear the propellers going. You know, we're about to lift off. And I said, you know what, Jessica? You can spend the next 2 hours in this helicopter terrified and miss the whole thing, or you can just let go and enjoy the journey. And luckily, I chose the latter because it was incredible. Before we knew it, we were over that volcano really close. And I call it Mother Nature's candy store because it looked like one of those big vats of like fudge and caramel, and it was bubbling. And I just wanted to like eat it. It looked so good. And then he went over to the side where you could see the lava going into the ocean, creating this gorgeous steam effect. It was incredible. Now, because we didn't use a travel agent, we didn't know that there are actually 4 terrains there. So the next place we went was where the farmland was. And I wanted to get out. Julie, you know, she stayed in the helicopter, but I got out and I got to actually meet the farmers and, you know, talk to them about how passionate they were about working the land and living there. And I got to drink right out of a coconut, drink the milk out of a straw. And then we were back in, taking off again. And this time we were over a rainforest. And I got to see a rainforest from above. How cool is that? Like when, you know, there's like rain, but you're above it. It was so cool. And then he took us into the rainforest, into this crevasse, right up to a 600-foot waterfall. And it was spraying water on our windshield. And I had a grin from ear to ear. Literally, my face hurt. And then we went to the 4th area, which is that beach area. And one of them was a black sand beach from the the volcanic rock. And then we kept going, and there was a cove that had white sand from the shells. And then we landed. And y'all, when we landed, I had goosebumps just remembering how I felt. Like I knew something inside of me cellularly had changed. That I knew that I could feel the fear but act in spite of it. And I turned to tell my sister just in time to see her trip as she got out of the helicopter because she had been so tense. But you know, for me, it was a life-changing experience. I realized that I wanted to do things and experience things and not let fear stop me. And that is why I became a travel agent, because I realized that travel is personal growth. You get to experience new people, you get to experience new places, new flavors, new foods. And I want to help anyone who has any kind of fear about travel overcome that and see these incredible places. Now, you might be saying, well, but Jessica, really, you know, why do I need a travel agent when I can really do this myself? You know, I just gave you a few reasons. Like there are things that, you know, myself as a travel agent, like I have researched the places that you want to go. I've learned the insider secrets about different destinations and, you know, those insider secret things that you wouldn't know that you can do, tickets that you might be able to get to, lines that you can avoid. So, you know, working with a travel agent, plus I have access to certain vendors that you wouldn't have access to that go to Hawaii. And I can get you special packages that you wouldn't have access to. And also, you know, I save you a lot of time because you're going to be looking at those 5 islands and it's going to take you months to figure out the difference between them, all those different islands that Hawaii has. And you're going to try and figure out, well, do I want to do city? Do I want to do, you know, and you're going to, oh, maybe I'll just go from island to island. Well, I have a solution that can get you to all of those islands in one trip. And you don't even have to unpack and go to different hotels. But, you know, I'll talk to you about that later. First, what I want to do is I want to show you how you're going to do that. So check out this video. This is a Norwegian cruise ship that goes to different islands. So watch this videotape. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so that's this Hawaiian island. Now look, the people, they're going back to have dinner on the ship. Oh, yes, that's delicious, that dessert. Oh, not the next day, they're at a different island. Oh, look, and they're at a luau. Isn't that fun? Okay, so wasn't that a cool video? Great. Now I want to show you a video of the Hilton Wakalua Village. Look at that. Yes, you can, that could be included in your package. You can have a room that looks just like that with that beautiful view that you're overseeing the ocean and you feel like you're in it. Oh yeah, look at that food. How delicious is that? Yes, they do this every night. They have this special barbecue by the pool. You can do that kayaking. So, oh my gosh, how many of you are at the edge of your seats wanting to go there right now, right? Yes, me too. I want to go with you. Okay, but I see a few of you have kind of a look on your face. I did mention volcanoes. You're probably nervous about that. But here's the thing. We did have an eruption on the Big Island, but you know what? A lot of people never had to leave, and people didn't even have to change their reservations because it was happening in one section of the island, and it wasn't affecting where the people were vacationing. But here's the thing, that the scientists know when an eruption is going to happen, and they're able to give people enough time to leave the island. But here's the thing, if we know it's coming, we're going to just get you some travel insurance to make sure that we can either cancel and reschedule your trip and you get your full money back, or we're going to just, use travel insurance to move you to a different island so you can experience Hawaii that same week, but in a different way. Or we're going to find out that it's not going to affect you at all. It's not going to affect the air quality. It's fine. It's going to be a small eruption and you can still go. Either way, we're going to make sure that you are taken care of. Now, some of you might be thinking that Hawaii is very expensive. And you know what? You're right. It is one of the more expensive destinations to travel to. But because you're not doing it through some website, because you're doing it with me, I can help you with a payment plan. So you can plan your trip 10 months out and be paying in 10 installments. All right. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't have a passport. I don't want to leave the country. But guess what? Hawaii actually is one of the United States. That's actually a myth out there. People think that they need a passport to go there or a visa or, it's not in the United States. Well, it actually is in the United States. So don't worry about it. Okay. And now I am going to show you how you can take advantage of one of these two wonderful trips. So here is the Norwegian Cruise Line. And what they have done for me is they have made it so that you can put down a $50 deposit tonight. That's it. Just put down $50 tonight, and then you can do a payment plan all the way up until we have a very special deal for you. The whole trip to all those Hawaiian islands is just going to be $700 a person. It's such a great deal. I mean, if you look into Hawaii, you will never find anything like that. Plus, I have some special amenities for those of you who do it tonight. Then we have that Hawaiian, the Hilton. I have a special deal for you. Again, you can put down a deposit tonight of $100 and be paying it off. And for the first 3 of you who go over for either one of the trips, since they are a ways off, I'm going to give you a 3-day, 2-night getaway so you and your partner can go away for a little weekend getaway to get practice for what you're going to do on your big vacation. Okay. I see a few of you have run to the table already. I guess you want those 3-day, 2-night getaways. That's right. It's on those computers. My husband will help you get settled. Okay. I see some of you are still sitting here. I polled some of you, my friends, to see which ones you wanted to go to. And some of you said that you want to go to Greece. Well, I just happen to have a hot deal for Greece over on the table over there, so you can go look at that. And I know, Jane, you wanted to go to Jamaica, so there's a hot deal over there. So for those of you who are interested in traveling and you don't want to go to Hawaii, there's about 6 different deals that only I have access to. So go check those out and see if any of those are places you want to go. All right. Well, I see there's still like 6 of you who are sitting here with me, maybe not ready to travel yet, but here's what I would love to do. If I'm going to be having these travel parties every month. And as you can see right there in between you all, I have everybody there on Facebook Live, wave to everybody on Facebook Live. Hi, everybody. Yes, I am Facebook Living this. I'm having this travel party for people all over who are my friends, and I'm getting a lot of hearts and loves. They're all sending you loves too, and one of them is going to get a 3-day, 2-night getaway soon too. One of you who's watching who puts down on your bucket list right now in the comments below, where do you want to go on your bucket list? Or if you want to be a part of this Hawaiian trip, write me, and one of you is going to win a 3-day, 2-night getaway. Okay, so for those of you who are here, as well as those of you who are watching on Facebook, if you give me 10 names and contact information for people who you know like to travel but don't use a travel agent, whether or not they're going to be coming to this or not, you know, if they live somewhere else, if you give me 10 referrals, I'll give you a 3-day, 2-night getaway. Okay, so now I'd love everyone to spend the rest of the evening enjoying the party. We're going to have a bonfire out back in my backyard, and we're going to do some limbo, and we're going to do some hula lessons. And as you can see, we have some Mai Tais and pina coladas that you can go and drink. Just, you know, only one. And if you're a designated driver, no drinking. Okay, I have some mocktails for you designated drivers, and there's plenty of Hawaiian style food. I left out the Spam, didn't think you all would want that, but there's definitely some Hawaiian flavors over there, so enjoy the food. We're going to be partying for another hour and a half, so thank you for coming, everyone. Zip. Okay, back to the training. So as you saw, I went through all 6 of these flawlessly without saying step 1, step 2. No, I just kind of led into each one. And then I ended the night strong by offering those getaways to people. You know, maybe you offer a gift for something that's going to come out of your commission. I ended the night with a referral program. So that is how you do a travel party. All right. Now, you all, I mean, I was just kind of going, like, I may have gone a little over 15 minutes because I really wanted you to get the feel for it. But if I was doing this, and though it is okay if you go over, if it's 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you know, as long as you got them intrigued and on the edge of their seat, it's fine. But just know that you can do this in as little as 15 minutes just by practicing it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to go back to the last screen so that you can see the 6 different steps in case you had questions. I do want to point out that this is being recorded, which means it's going to be posted in your back office, hopefully by the end of this week. And that means that you will be able to watch this again. So if you missed any of the slides or what was on them, or you're saying, you know, can we get these slides? You're not actually going to physically get the slides, but you're going to see the slides. So you'll be able to, you know, create your, I mean, you don't have to do a presentation like this, like a physical presentation. You don't have to put together a physical presentation unless you really want to. You could just, I mean, you're only talking for 15 minutes. All right, so let's get to some of your questions. All right, so in the beginning here, we have a lot of people who are telling me if they can see and hear me, so that is good. All right, okay. Wow, a lot of people telling me if they can hear me clearly. Thank you, that was great. I'm trying to see where the questions are. Where did I start? Okay. This must have been where I started. Do the banners and giveaways we have printed need to be with the InteleTravel logo, or can we use our own individual company logo? You can use your own individual company logo. So for those of you who are brand new agents, you can completely market yourself as an InteleTravel independent agent. That is absolutely fine. For some of you, maybe you've been in the business a long time and people know you as Redbox Travel. You know, or whatever it might be. And that is fine. You can market yourself that way. Just make sure that when you're ordering, if it says what is the name of your company and your contact information, that you put Redbox Travel and your contact information. Okay. Pre-party, what should be on the banner? Well, that depends. So if you're ordering banners from the suppliers and you're telling them, hey, we're going to be going on the We're going to be going to Club Med in, let's see, where did I go to Club Med? I went to Cancun. So maybe they have some banners that are Club Med Cancun, and you can, they'll send those to you and you set them up. But if you're ordering your own in the back office through the print shop, they'll have some ideas for you. But like, it can be something like with the InteleTravel logo on it or your own personal logo on it. And it says, travel the world. You'll keep it kind of generic because unless you have a lot of money to spend in your marketing budget, you want to keep your personal ones that you're designing generic to travel, because otherwise you're going to have to order a new banner every month depending on what you're doing. All right. I just put in for 3-day 2-night getaways. Excited and can't wait. All right. Good job, Rosalind. All right. Oops, having a little trouble moving the key down here. Let's see. Will a launch party be similar to a travel party? A launch party is different because you are announcing your business. So people are coming there to learn about your business and what you're doing and to support you. So they're going, you are going to be selling something. You might be, selling the opportunity to become a travel agent as well as selling travel. A launch party is different because that's the theme. The theme is the launch. But the difference is when people have launch parties, they know you're going to be selling something. So, unless they're really interested in your business or something, it might give them a reason to say no. Whereas a travel party is only focused on what that sale is at the end, what that destination is. Therefore, your theme is going to be Hawaiian nights, or if you're selling a Paris trip, April in Paris, but you're going to be doing it in December so that they, have time to plan for April. Okay, let's see. Where should you have a travel party? At your house or somewhere else? Well, it depends. I've had parties at my house when I could fit that many people in. And now at my place in Vegas, we have a big clubhouse. So I can invite people to the clubhouse. I've also had parties, with other people, and some of them may have belonged to a club where we could, use the house at the clubhouse, or we've rented a hotel room together and paid for it, because we knew a lot of people were coming to that. Or maybe you can partner with a restaurant, let's say you're doing Italy. You can have, an Italy theme, and maybe they have a back room at the Italian restaurant, and, people can get their own drinks or buy their own, maybe the restaurant. What I've done in the past is the restaurant has given me a drink ticket, so they can start with one drink free from the restaurant, and then they, usually tend to buy another drink or maybe get some hors d'oeuvres, So I've done travel parties all different ways. All right, let's see. How do you purchase travel incentives? I did tell you how to do that already, so just rewatch it, please. And welcome to you, Roxanne, as a new agent. So happy to have you. You would never tell them about the travel business during this party. Okay, that's what we're really trying to clarify here. The difference between travel parties and business opportunity parties or launch parties. However, if someone says to you, hey, listen, this sounds so cool what you do. I know that you recently became a travel agent. Can you tell me a little bit about how you did that? You could say, absolutely, let's get everybody, wait until everyone gets settled and we can have a conversation. Or, if there's not a lot of time left in the evening, maybe you're doing the presentation, and it goes longer, say, why don't we meet for coffee tomorrow and I'll tell you all about it. So you can tell them at another time, but the party is not a place where you would discuss it. I don't know how to post for social media. All right, Connie. Well, luckily for you, I did a training on social media. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So you can go into your back office under education, under InteleTutorials, and you will find the social media training, and you can see how to post to social media. All right. Don't you risk getting blocked or making mad by private messaging them? Well, Not if you know them. You're inviting them to a party and you're giving them the option um, winning a 3-day 2-night getaway. So you're gonna write them a well-stated professional invitation. You're inviting them to your travel party. You're saying, hey, bummer, you don't live here. I wish you could actually be here. It's going to be hilarious. We're doing hula lessons. And again, I wouldn't start out with sending them to strangers necessarily. Like if you've got people you're friends with that you don't know, you might want to start creating a relationship with them first so that you do know them. But here's the thing. You can get sent to Facebook jail if you try and send too many invitations in one day. So what you're going to do is, again, give yourself enough time, right? So you're planning these a month in advance. You can be sending out 20 a day for 10 days, and then you're fine. No jail. Okay. So let's see. Where's a travel party song? We like pina coladas. Dun, dun. Going out on a cruise, boom, 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 boom. We like selling lots of vacays, and we like to party schmooze. Dun, 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 dun. If you like, okay. My dog is now terrified, as are probably all the new agents who have no idea why someone asked me to sing a song. Well, get to know me, y'all. You'll all know how it goes. Okay. Can I do a virtual travel party as I prepare a small group that I have for going on their cruise? Absolutely. So you can sell more people into the group. Yes, what a great idea. So you can do a virtual party, maybe invite people to a Facebook party, which you can do privately, or you can do a Facebook Live, but you can have a special group that you can set up for your virtual party. Maybe you do it on Zoom if you have Zoom. Maybe you do it, however you want to do it. Do a virtual party so that they can invite their friends. And you could even say, if you get 10 people to come to this, to join this group, I can get you a berth for free, right? Get 10 to a group, you get 1 berth free, you can give it to them for free. So, look for different ways to grow that group virtually. Okay, do you suggest decorations a lot or less as possible? Hey, this is your travel party. So if you want to decorate, I go all out. I'm one of those people that loves parties, and I get really into the theme. So, I'll decorate, but you can go to the dollar stores and they have all kinds of stuff. You can even plan your themes around going to the dollar stores each month. And because they always have leftover St. Patrick's Day, leftover Valentine's Day. You grab all that stuff for next year's travel party, and you're planning, because you're not going to sell a Valentine's Day trip in February. No, you're going to have, celebrate Valentine's Day in July so that you can sell a Valentine's trip for February, right? So, you can get the leftover stuff and, have all kinds of decorations. All right, let's see. Oh, somebody just said, don't forget the Dollar Tree for your goodies and things. You guys are already ahead of me. There we go. All right, let's see. Okay, I did take pictures of the kayak adventure, and I will post them on, well, I already posted one on Instagram, but I will post some on Facebook. Let's see. I talked about that. Themes. Can you focus specific people, such as couples only or groups only, reunions? Absolutely. Any theme that you can talk to a travel partner about. Somebody was asking about doing a cabin theme. Well, the thing is can you find commissionable cabins? If you can find commissionable cabins, then by all means, do a cabin theme. But if you can't find commissionable cabins, then that's not the best thing. Instead, talk to your suppliers who sell villas and do a villa party, something like that. Okay. How does one showcase and talk about places you've never been to? Great question. What you do is you watch in your InteleTutorial library, okay? So you're going to watch your you're going to look for the places that you want to go in the InteleTutorial library. You're going to watch videos on that places. You're going to go onto YouTube. You're going to watch, on there. You're going to go to TripAdvisor so you can find out what are the top rated restaurants, what are the top sites to see. and you're going to go into the InteleTravel Departure Lounge, and you are going to ask your fellow agent, say, listen, I'm a new travel agent, and I am having a travel party featuring Jamaica. I've never been. Can some of you please private message me some testimonials about, people that you've sent to Jamaica or your experience at Jamaica so that I can play your videos at my travel party? And you will see people love to come to help. We have one of the most generous group of agents I have ever met in the community ever. But just even our travel ambassadors alone, how much time they have volunteered and how much they put into that departure lounge. But there are so many wonderful agents who, when they see, oh, I've been there, they will send you a video, and you can share about the place and say, I haven't actually been to Jamaica yet, but if we get a big group together tonight, I might just go with you. Or you don't even have to tell them you haven't been there. You just simply share, these are the people who have shared with me some testimonials about it, and then you play those. And then if someone says, well, have you ever been there? And you can say, not yet, but that's the thing. I don't need to go to be able to send you. It's like, when you go to the doctor and they give you a prescription for a penicillin, they don't have to have taken the penicillin to know that it works for that particular strain of, bacteria, right? So it's the same thing. You don't have to have been there, but you can still be an expert in it, all right? All right. So let's see, do you suggest actually taking the trip first before doing a part? No, that answers that question. You don't have to take the trip first. But if you do take some FAMs or you do take trips, make sure you take lots of pictures, do those site inspections so that people can see that you did go and that it's exciting. But again, I don't want that to be a reason to stop you from doing a travel party next month because you haven't been there yet. That's not a reason. All right, so we're getting rid of any objections. All right, if you're doing a virtual, how do you deal with the forms and stuff? Okay, well, if you're doing a virtual, then you can get RSVPs beforehand. So this way, when you get that RSVP, you can say, if you want to win some prizes on the night of the virtual, make sure you give me your email address because I'm going to send you a form to fill out. During the virtual, you can have them do bucket list trips. Say, I'm going to put a picture of this bucket list up here and put in all the places you want to go. Everyone, to be entered, you need to enter at least 3 places where you want to go on your bucket list. And then at the end, you go to that picture and you pick somebody to win. Say, okay, I am going to have my daughter come in here and I'm going to spin the page and I'm going to have her point to one person's name and that person's going to be the winner. And, so you can do that. Or you can just say that you are going to, cut up everybody's name after the party, put it into a hat, and you're going to do a drawing the next night, which will bring, more people and give other people the opportunity who haven't seen it yet. You can say, hey, if you haven't been to my virtual party, I'm doing a drawing for a 3-day, 2-night getaway tomorrow. So make sure you go in there and tell me where you want to go on your bucket list. And then you can even kind of prolong it for a few days so that you can go see them, you can pick it later. All right, so 80s party theme, love that. Oh my God, I would totally rock that. I would go as a headbanger. Okay, if you're doing a virtual party, okay, so I just answered that. How much time should I start inviting for the party? I would say 2 weeks, minimum 2 weeks. Yeah, definitely a minimum of 2 weeks. All right, now you would be preparing a month before, but you're ordering things a month before, you're preparing, but, I would say give them at least 2 weeks because if you wait too long, they're going to have other plans. If you do it too far out, they might forget about it, okay? All right, let's see. I already ordered a few, great. What time is it? Okay, so I've gone a half an hour over for you guys. Let's see how many more questions we have here. So by pulling from the guests on where to go, would you do a vote poll on your page, foreshadowing that you will do it? Yep, perfect. So for virtual, yeah, do that poll beforehand. let's see. Okay, I already talked about where to get those 3 day 2 nights. So just go in the back. Is it possible to have a great theme party if I do not offer alcohol? Absolutely. Absolutely. No one says you have to do alcohol. You can do mocktails. I don't drink either. So you can do mocktails. Or you can do, like I said, cookies and cocoa. Or you can do, let's say, if it's, if you're doing a resort, maybe you have like kombucha for like, it's a healthy getaway resort. All right, let's see. So, okay, you guys saw the story. You're on slide 4. Okay, you saw that. Where do you gather testimonials if you haven't helped someone travel before? So I just told you that. You can do that in the departure lounge. Verbiage we need to do when contacting the BDM. I contacted the BDM and he didn't know what a travel party was and was unable to offer me a package deal for the party. What should I be saying to them? Okay, that sounds like, hold on one second, y'all. I don't know if you can hear my dog barking, but I can. Buster, where are you? Come over here. Where are you? Get up here. There's a whole bunch of people watching my webinar listening to you bark like a crazy dog. Okay, I'm gonna just close that door and you stay here, okay? There you go. Sorry, everybody. That was a little timeout. So, you're going to talk to the BDM. So what you're going to, just say to them, I'm having a travel party. Now, if it's one of our preferred partners, they should really know what a travel party is. But if they don't, just say, it's a party where I invite everybody over to talk about your brand and sell a trip at the end. So, like I'd like to put together a group trip. And, so if I get like 25 people in the group, can you do something special for me? So, or, if I get 15 people to go, can you do, can you throw in something extra for me? Or can we get them a better deal? Or can we lower the down payment, whatever it is? And that's, pretty much what you would say. All right. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. You're welcome. Let's see. How do we decide a destination or topic to center the travel party to draw the best attendance? Well, again, you can do a poll online where if you have a business page, you can do multiple questions. If you are doing it on your personal page, you can only ask 2 questions for a poll. But again, you can basically choose. You can Google, okay? You can Google most popular destinations, okay? And then you can see what the most popular destinations are to go to, and you can base your parties on that. Or you can just choose a destination that you're passionate about, that you want to get people, that you want people to see. Because again, remember when I said, why do we do this? To educate people, to expose them to more. All right, so it's, it's not always about getting the best attendance as much as it is about the most interested. So like you might have 100 people at a travel party and only 3 people sign up, but you might have 10 people at a travel party and all 10 of them sign up. So, it's not always the quantity that counts. What do you suggest for a prize to the first person to book at the party? So you can offer a bottle of wine. You can offer a spa and golf giveaway. You can offer the 3 day 2 night getaway. Usually, okay, so remember before I said that you can order 10 giveaways. So the first 3 go to the first 3 people that get to your party, like you promised them. Then 1 is going to go to your bucket list drawing. 1 is going to go to your Facebook bucket list drawing, and 1 is going to go for your drawing for the people who filled out the customer information form. Then maybe 2 of them are going to go to the first 2 people who sign up, and maybe the last 2 are going to go to the 2 people who, when I say sign up, I mean sign up for the trip, the 2 people who give you referrals. Okay, so that is how you can use 10 to really take advantage of online, for the people who don't sign up, but will still give you referrals. So But you know, you can really, if you don't want to give away a 3-day, 2-night getaway to somebody who's already traveling, because I don't usually recommend that. Like I never recommend when somebody comes back from a trip thanking them with a 3-day, 2-night getaway, because now they might take that as their second trip for the year instead of booking something else with you. So always thank them with either a $25 rebate or the spa rebate or something of yours from the print shop. Okay, let's see. I was just throwing out those numbers for deposits, but you know, if you keep an eye on those hot deals, or if you talk to, you know, some of the cruise lines and talk to your BDMs, you might be able to come across some great deposits. Because I've heard agents talk about those. So let's see. I've already answered that. I was told from previous agency we're not allowed to gift the clients like $25 or so on their booking. The supplier should not like that. If it's coming out of your pocket, I don't see why the supplier should care, because you're paying for it, not the supplier. But you certainly could ask about that in the departure lounge, what people's experiences have been with that. But I've heard, I mean, this came from, you know, Tara and James, they talked about during that. So there's nothing wrong with taking $25 and you know, and create, and you know, it's coming out of your pocket. You can have a gift in the room for them. Suppliers have no problem with that. Like, they want you to spend money on chocolate and chocolate covered strawberries and champagne for them in the room. If it makes sense. I mean, if they're booking a 3-week cruise, why not give them champagne for their, you know, anniversary, champagne, and you know, you're getting a big commission check. So, you know, to spend $45 on a gift for them in their room. So how often do you have a party? As often as you can. I would say minimum 1 a month in person and minimum 1 a month online, virtually, to really explode your business. If you want a 6-figure business, that's what I would recommend to you. Okay, let's see. Please direct me to my back office. I'm a new agent. Okay, so I'm not really answering any questions for you guys other than things that have to do with these travel parties, but I will answer that. When you joined, you should have gotten a welcome letter from InteleTravel that had your PIN and your password. And your PIN can start with a P or an A or some kind of letter like that. And you're going to go to InteleTravel.com. You're going to hit login. You're going to put your PIN and your password in, and boom, you are in your back office. All right, and I advise you to do a tour of that back office once a month so that you're always updated with things that you can see there. All right, let's see. I think I've answered most of these questions. If I have not answered one of these questions, I am going to ask, let's see. I wonder if, let's see. I'm going to ask one of our ambassadors to please put up a link for travel party questions in the, if there are any ambassadors on right now that would like to volunteer to put up in the lounge a picture, you know, that says, hey, if you have questions from the travel party that was not answered tonight, please put the questions here. And then tag me, because I don't post in the departure lounge because I have too many other places where I post. So if nobody is on here that is an ambassador that can post in there, I will then just ask one of them to do it. All right, so that's going to bring our evening to an end. You're welcome so much. I'm glad you got lots of great ideas. Now go out there, oh, Stacy's going to post. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy Patterson. She's one of our amazing ambassadors. Okay, so go look for Stacy's post. She's going, if there's any questions I didn't answer, it's going to be in the departure lounge, and you can she's going to post it there and tag me, so I'll see, and maybe some of the ambassadors can help me answer those questions as well. And this webinar will be posted in the back office under InteleTutorials very, very soon. So I would love for you all to post pictures in the departure lounge of your successful travel parties. And, you know, who knows, maybe we'll go in there and do some prizes for whoever, you know, has some great parties. We'll, you know, pick somebody and you'll get a prize. You never know when Jessica's going to sneak in there with the prize. Good night, everybody. The more you learn, the more you earn. So keep coming back. All righty. Goodbye, everyone.